What's up, paisans? Station 8 Garage. We're back here on the 66 Fastback. And finally, we're going to start cutting the frame rails and putting in the front cross member support. Lots of phone calls, lots of emails. But I wanted to make sure when I do finally cut this frame rail that I'm cutting it in the right spot and that I'm doing it correctly. So, that being said, let the cutting begin. Okay, that's our first cut. Very first initial cut. That's going to allow me to get that in place where I need it. I just got to notch this one mount right here to get this off out of the way for the old torsion bar. So that's got to come off. And then I can start mocking up my cut here to notch for the coil spring. So that's it. Looks good so far. Done. That's out of the way. Sweet. Okay. I'm going to go ahead and mark the frame for where it's got to get notched now. Which is actually a good thing because we showed you in an earlier video, frame's got a decent amount of rust on it, and actually driver's side's really bad. So this is kind of a blessing in disguise that we're doing this, because we're going to actually wind up strengthening it more than it was previously, with the rust, that is. All right. All right, guys, here it is. Passenger side is all mocked in. You can see that. Okay. Go on the other side of the fender here. You can see this is just a rough fit up, but you can see it's fitting nicely. Now this gap down here that you see, let me move that vice grip out of the way. That gap right there is what all the dispute was about. So there's no way around that. So what's going to happen is we're just going to pull this piece in here, that bottom plate. Let me point to it here. This bottom plate right here. See how it dips down? Well, I'm just going to bend it up as tight as I can to the original frame rail and then weld it. So there is going to be a little bit of a gap there as it goes down because that's just the way the kit's made. There's no way around that. But outside of that, I mean, that's pretty good fitment, you know. Get a nice corner weld in there. Same thing on the bottom. All right, and then I'll weld it to the frame, and we'll be good to go. And that's the that's the passenger side. Here's another look from this side. So that's all going to get welded in place. So, one down, one to go. And this is what the floor looks like underneath it. But, let me get a flashlight here. Drop right. There you go. She's all cut and prepped. I'm ready to put the plates in. This side here had a lot of rot. So I might put some extra support in here because I'm only supposed to be cutting a little half circle right here. But this whole section is all rotted out. So I might try and plate that to add a little extra strength, even though it's going to get boxed in on top of that anyway. But still, better safe than sorry. So put some rust preventative on that. But it's all nice and cleaned up. She's ready for her new digs. Here, I'll show you. There you go. That's what's going to go over that right there and get welded in on both sides. Then I can start putting the cross member in and everything else. But it all starts right here. Tons and tons of prep work. Make sure you got nice clean metal to weld to, so you got as much strength as you can. And yeah, I'll go ahead and paint it and treat it with some rust preventative as well. Hey, paisans. Well, here it is. It's all welded up. Got to break in my new Everlast welder, and let me tell you, man, this baby is sweet. There's definitely a difference. This is some of the best beads I've thrown down. Of course, I had to get a little up to speed with it, you know. Took a little while to get it dialed in, but it's all there. So, that's the driver's side, passenger side. We got us some rails, man. Cross members coming next.